JLI, What About It? Season 1, Episode 2, Moving Day.
Last time we saw this band of misfits and outcasts, they had officially banded together under the many flags of the United Nations as the Justice League International, a new spin on the classic band of superheroes. But we opened today's tale in front of the Metropolis United Nations Embassy at 4 in the morning, where our heroes all stand out of costume, wildly tired, save for Rocket Red, who stands in formation like a soldier during a bunk check. Batman stands tall on the steps as he gives a speech to the group.
Good morning, Leaguers.
Hello, Mr. Batman! Did you have goodest of sleep? I had the bestest of sleep.
Good morning to you, Dimitri. Anyways, most of you are wondering why I called you here at this hour.
We very much are wondering. I need at least 10 hours of sleep to maintain my composure.
And we thank you for your sacrifice. Anyways, I asked you here because from now on, this is your home. Every night, you will lie your head down, and every morning you will train. This embassy is your home. And to truly make it feel like home, we must make it one. So you will move in today.
Alright, stand back everyone. Power my ring, I can do this in 10 minutes, tops. Maybe even less.
Except you won't. We'll move in like a normal human.
Oh, of course Bats is saying this. Wants to make us as powerless as him.
Actually, Guy, this was my idea. Back in the old day with the JSA, a majority of the team was unpowered. So whenever we did stuff like this with them, we'd be normal. It grounds us and helps build the team.
You gotta be kidding me. I could have done it the entire time you mouthed off.
No powers, Guy. Please.
Oh, stupid powers, no right, stupid Batman. I don't want to. Fine. Don't expect me to like it. Okay, boys, the day isn't getting any younger. Guy, Jay, you guys are with me to grab the moving truck. Mari, work with Dimitri to start bringing in furniture. Booster, you work with Ted on setting up the teleportation network. Wait, hold the phone. Why the hell does Bats get off scot-free?
I'm busy. I have business in Gotham.
I ain't moving your crap into your room for you.
You don't need to. I moved in 3 hours ago.
Hold up. 3 hours? What? You moved in at 1 in the morning? When do you sleep? What was that? What was what? You were just bleeped? What the hell is a bleep? Say shit. That's a bleep. Oh, yeah, that's just a little thing built into the rings. The Guardians want us to be the best example of the core to the planets we protect and the civilizations we encounter. Means they don't want to swear like a sailor.
I've heard Hal swear on multiple occasions. With no bleep.
Yeah, well, he's the Guardian's golden boy. Of course they ain't gonna put normal restrictions on his ring. Gets to do all kinds of crazy.
I've heard John swear. And he's a new lantern. No way he could be golden boy.
What do you mean John gets the... He's the newest... Oh, what the... Hey, ring!
Yes, Lantern Gardner. You do not need to shout. I have already heard and processed your inquiry.
Yes, I get it. Yada yada. You're just slow processing audio inquiries because your alien tech fizzes out when you hear an accent. Anyway, why is it the other lanterns in Sector 2814 can swear?
Elaborate. Swearing has multiple definitions under the code written by...
I don't care. I meant when you bleep me whenever I curse. When I use swear words in the human language, English. What's up with that?
It was a special software installed by the Guardians, a filter for your excessive language. Guardian Gambit suggested it be put in place in order for you to better communicate with the denizens of your planet and other members of the core.
Guy, does that mean your ring is in child safety mode?
Shut up before I grab you and toss you into low orbit.
What do you mean the funding was cut?
On the other side of the world, in the middle of the UN's designated Global Guardians headquarters stationed in Paris, a dark-skinned, green-haired Brazilian woman screams at the top of her lungs. She holds up a slightly singed newspaper with a headline reading, "Global Guardians dissolved hereby today," announces UN Commissioner in her hands, angrily pointing at it and the blurb below. Her name is Beatrice da Costa, aka the superheroine Green Fury, or as she now prefers to call herself, Fire. Fire is a member of the UN's now former premier superhero team, the Global Guardians, and is actively yelling at that team's leader, the Irish purple-clad hero Jack O'Lantern, pushing the now partially smoking newspaper in his face. He was calmly packing his things while nearby UN workers were slowly starting to disassemble their office space.
Well, since the new Justice League showed up, the UN probably doesn't want to fund a bunch of nobodies anymore.
Oh, really? You say that while they have, what, some nobody like Booster Gold as a name people would recognize? No one could figure out what he does based on his name alone.
It's important to note that recognition of his name doesn't matter, B. It's the Justice League. That has more staying power in people's minds than anything else.
And why couldn't they just let us be absorbed by the Justice League? It's just a different title for the same superhero team. We don't deserve to have our livelihoods cut because America decided to finally get its act together.
It's a more marketable name, more recognizable over there. They'd rather have Batman than a UN-sponsored team on their soil. Just how it works, Fire.
What's gonna happen to the rest of the team then? I quit my job for this! ICE doesn't even legally exist! I'm a superhero full-time! How am I supposed to support the both of us? There's no financial compensation? What the hell am I supposed to do?
Look, I'm very sorry to say this, Fire, but all of that's for you to figure out now. I can't help you here beyond give you a little advice. You want us up by noon tomorrow. Global Guardians, from this point onwards, are disbanded.
Huh, for a guy named Jack O'Lantern, you're the saddest person I've ever met.
And with that, Beatrice angrily takes a brisk walk down the hall, brushing past UN workers scurrying to avoid her wrathful gait. Skipping her room in the team's now former base, she sauntered to the door next to it, gingerly knocking on it.
Oh, hello, B.
Ice was a tall, pale Scandinavian woman with pointed ears and ethereal hair as white as snow with hues of icy blue. She wore a long, light blue dress.
Oh, did you hear the news, Tora?
I did. I also heard you yelling. Did you know you scared one of those poor workers? I heard him gasp and speed walk. Is that what you call it? Yes, he speed walked out of the building.
I didn't know. How are you so... You're so calm about this. We just lost our funding and livelihoods. The team's disbanding because the Justice League popped up and decided that we don't matter anymore.
Well, they are the Justice League. I'm just happy the people will have another team to look up to put their hopes into, to protect them when all is lost.
They are the Justice League in name only. You mean to tell me that some clown named Guy Gardner is on the same level as Superman? Yeah, for God's sake, me and you are even above those super zeros. Our names are known in France, Norway, Brazil, Belgium, Italy, Monaco.
Be dear, have you considered if we are so above them as you think? Why not ask if they need 2 more members?
Oh, Dora! You're a genius! Oh, I'll bet anything they'll be grateful to have 2-time honored Global Guardians on the team. Oh, why didn't I think of that sooner? Oh, my anger got the better of me. I should have asked you first. I'm sorry.
It will be so nice to see America, the League, the people, the food, the giant cow in North Dakota.
Well, pack your bags, Dora, because in about 2 hours, we've got a plane to catch.
Back in the States, Jay Garrick drives a moving truck with Ralph Dibney sitting next to him, casually leaning back in his seat, and Guy Gardner squatting in the back. Let's just say that Ralph was quicker on the draw shouting shotgun than him. A black glove fiddles with the knob on the truck's radio, finding the FM for the morning news.
Good morning, and welcome to Rising with Ryder. I'm your host, Jack Ryder. I'm as excited as always to give you the news you need to know about. Today marks the official last day of the highly successful Global Guardians. and the first day of the Justice League International. Is this good? Is this bad? That's for the viewers and listeners at home to figure out. But what it surely is, my dear followers, is the rise of a new era of the Justice League. Will it be as good as its former years? Who can say? But in one reporter's humble opinion, these new Jokers will never reach the impact the JLA had.
Ralph, why do you listen to this stuff?
I don't know. Sue can't figure it out either. Sounds more like you're indulging a cycle of negative reinforcement to validate a pre-existing belief that you're underappreciated, so you seek out voices that confirm that insecurity. Classic cognitive distortion pattern, like what Beck wrote about.
In unison, both Ralph's and Jay's faces froze, slowly turning their heads around to look at Guy, who casually dug a pinky into his nose. He pulled it out, peered at the gunk, and wiped it on a cushion.
What did you just say? Also, there's tissues out there, Guy. To answer your question, you're basically setting yourself up for disappointment on purpose. Aaron Beck, Albert Ellis, feeling good. Take your pick. Why do you both look so shocked? It's just some light reading. I was 70% sure that you couldn't read. And I was sure you'd melt in the sun. Plastic man. I got a damn master's in psychology and a bachelor's in education, and I ain't a knucklehead like Hal. What the hell did you just say to me? You're the thickest skin. I was a damn teacher, too. You were... I'm ignoring that first part. You were a teacher? Yeah, I taught elementary back in Grand Rapids. The general area, that sort of thing. Phys ed with the special ed kids. You taught elementary school? Yeah? What about it? I just wouldn't expect you of all people to teach. Be a teacher, be educated, have an education, in general. And I was a pretty good one at that, too. God, did I love it. The learning, helping kids out, being there for them, facilitating their education. You form a real bond with them. That ring took me to deep space for 3 months. Cost me that job when I came back. I wanted a teacher who'd show up for work. There was this girl, promised to see her graduate, and now... I don't think I'll ever... Is that a Big Belly burger? Pops, pull over. We gotta pick something up. I'm starving. Pops!
Good Lord, I said no yelling.
35,000 feet above the Atlantic Ocean, fire and ice sit in Economy Plus on a Ferris commercial plane. Tora had her face pressed up against the glass, reveling in the wonders of the modern world. A horizon of sheer blue ocean water spotted with the rare boat. Beatrice, on the other hand, looked uncomfortable in the airline's standard small seat, impatiently shifting from side to side.
Look, Bee, outside the window.
Tora, I love you, but if you show me another cute-looking cloud, I will burn a hole through the floor and suck everyone out of the plane. Okay, let's run through it one more time.
Do we have to? I feel like... How do you say we nailed it last time?
We can stop practicing when you can stop reading off your cue card. Now, one more time.
Hello, I am Ice, aka Toro Of's daughter, and I would like to join the Juice League Sensational International. I am from a kingdom of ice elves, and I make ice. I think I will be a good member for your team because of my bubbly personality, and do I really have to say this part?
Yes, it is wildly important that you say that next part.
I think I will be good member of team for my bubbly personality and marketability.
Great! Now let's try it again, but you need to say it louder. Give me a moment, Tora.
Beatrice sits up and turns to look around at the kid. Oh, it's another tension. Okay. Beatrice sits up and turns around to look at the kid, no older than 9, who had been kicking the back of her seat for the past 20 minutes.
I swear to God! I don't care how old you are! I will bate and você con forza!
Whoa! You're that lady!
Oh, a Global Guardian fan! How rude of me to yell at you! You're the sweetest little thing!
You're that elf lady's friend. Green lady!
My name is Fire.
Yeah! You hang out with my favorite Global Guardian, Ice Man.
Tora pops up over the back of her seat like a groundhog who saw her own shadow when she heard her name.
Actually, I am now Ice, but thank you, little one.
Oh my god, you're here too! Yeah, please, God, this ice.
Of course.
Tora quickly reaches over and signs the child's old General Glory comic, in Norse runes, much to the confusion of the boy's mother when she hands the comic to her, and then, with her magical ice powers, creates a little snowman for the boy.
Thank you so much, guys. You're the best.
And while all of this happens, Beatrice's chair begins melting a little bit. Back at the embassy, Murray and Dimitri sat on the couch drinking coffee. As two individuals with super strength, Dimitri through his armor and Murray through her Tantu totem, they were able to knock out their furniture job in 15 minutes, despite Batman and Jay asking them to not use their powers. The both of them thought it made more sense to stretch the truth of that rule.
God, it's only 5 and we are completely done with our parts.
Well, Mr. the Batman didn't expect us to find a loophole in his rule. I think he expected for it to take all day. But with the superior might of Rocket Red and his companion Derickson, we were able to get it done very quickly.
Cheers to that, big man. Cheers to that.
Prost!
That word, Prost, that's German.
Da, it is. I picked it up on a mission to Austria. We stayed for drinks, afterwards, and the local taught it to me. It's fun to say.
Cool. God, I don't think I ever woken up this early before. What the hell am I supposed to do all day?
Ah! A question me and my fellow Reds pondered frequently. I am very used to waking up early for training, so I have found the ultimate cure for boredom.
And that is...
Ping pong!
Dimitri took Murray up to his room, which, due to the lack of the boys arriving with the moving truck, was sparsely decorated, save for a bed in the corner of the room and a ping-pong table.
Ping pong.
Ping pong! My comrade Gavril introduced me to it.
Doesn't this seem a little childish?
Niet. The table tennis is a game for all the ages. Come on, pick up battle.
Well, it's not like I have anything else to fill today.
So, you start by dropping the ball and hitting it.
So, serving.
Ah, that's what it's called.
Yeah, I used to play a lot. When I was a kid.
Ah, so, Mari, you are from... where?
Zambesi.
Do you like it there?
Well, yeah. It's home. It's near the water, pretty green, nice views.
Not to be crass, but I don't care.
What? You asked?
Yes, I asked if you liked it, and you described the land. A country isn't its land, it's its locals. Do you like the people, Mari?
Of course. It's my home. It may not be perfect, but we look out for each other. They are kind, warm, and welcoming. Some of the best people I know.
And would the kind people of Zambesi like their Rocket Red?
Of course! Especially if you brought the big armor. The kids would play on you like a jungle gym.
Oh, and I would let them. Rocket Red is for the people.
Point for me.
Only because you distracted me with imagining the adorable children.
Excuses. Serve it up, comrade.
So, Mari, why did you join?
The African Embassy is in my home country, and I've been a leaguer before. So I thought, why the hell not? What about you, Tin Can? Why do you want to join the team?
Hamburger. Actually, to experience the American culture. But mainly the hamburger.
2-0. Looks like you're slipping, Tin Can.
Oh, just you wait, Fox Lady.
The ball got faster and faster until Dimitri hit it with the full force of his suit, sending it through a wall.
speak of this.
Only if you admit I won.
Fine. But tomorrow, we do the rematch.
You're on, Rusky.
After an 8-hour flight, subtracting 2 layovers and a missed flight because Tora needed snacks, Fire and Ice walked up to the Metropolis Embassy in full costume at around 6 in the morning. Beatrice, confident as always, had memorized her speech on the plane. On the other hand, Tora shook with nervousness, and the cue cards partially covered in a thin layer of ice in her hands.
Okay, are you ready, Tora?
No, I mean, yeah, I can do this.
You certainly say that. Keep it cool, darling.
Beatrice knocked on the door of the embassy confidently. She waited and prepared to knock again before a groggy Sue Dibney answered.
Okay, listen, whatever you're selling, we don't want any, we don't tolerate that here, and I should really get Guy to hang up a no solicitation sign or set up an alien dog alarm to chew up solicitors or something.
We are no solicitors, ma'am. We are 2 former members of the superhero team, the Global Guardians.
Yeah, yeah. That's shut down.
We know! Anyhow, we come to offer services as experienced, renowned, globe-trotting heroes.
Yeah, and you are Captain Bellbottoms and the Invincible Parka, right?
Beatrice strained underneath her smile, and you could absolutely tell a blood vessel would pop if Sue continued. But then she struck her power pose and began reciting the planned script.
Greetings, Justice League International. I am Beatrice da Costa, but you can call me Fire. I have the ability to combust into a green flame and fly. If I push myself, I can even make constructs. Additionally, I have experiences with a United Nations chartered superhero team. I've worked in the corporate world, and I've even worked in the press circuit as a model.
Bee struck another pose, then looked over her shoulder at Tora with a reassuring look. Tora, shaking like she was about to be sick, beads of sweat turning into ice on her forehead, fumbled with her cue cards.
Is your friend okay?
I am ice, I can make ice.
There's some joke about freezing up here that's on the tip of my tongue.
Guy's mocking voice broke the ice. Ah, there you go, as he walked in with a big belly burger milkshake. Jay and Ralph were behind him, holding bags of breakfast for the team.
Oh, great. You're here. Oh, hi, honey. What did you get?
Hi, hon. Okay, I got some breakfast sandwiches, a hash brown, pancakes, and a milkshake for Guy, because he's insane. Ah, cry me a river. But seriously, who's these losers? They bugging you for some type of cult?
Oh, you of all people don't get to talk about us like that! And a cult? Oh, unbelievable!
These guys want to join the team.
How are these guys gonna join the team when Frosty over here can't even talk, and only Toasty here's got an attitude worse than Elastic Lads?
As Guy tried to very rudely push past them, an angry Tora stuck a finger out and blasted his legs with a beam of ice, causing him to trip and hit his nose on the concrete outside.
You're on the team. That's my decision, and it's final. Anyone who can shut Guy up deserves to be on the squad. Come into my office. I need to write your contracts.
The others followed Sue, Bee, and Tora into the building. Guy, fortunately, was stuck to the steps, trying to laser at the ice around his boots to very little progress. Jay walked over to Guy, vibrating his hands at supersonic speeds, slowly melting the ice around his legs with friction.
Need a hand up, kid? Or two?
Not from you, Pops.
As they followed the others inside the building to enjoy their breakfast and discuss the new members, all the power in the embassy went out.
What in the blue blazes?
10 minutes earlier, Booster Gold and Blue Beetle had worked on setting up the teleportation unit, with Ted under the unit connecting wires, while Booster untangled wires like Christmas lights.
Okay. It is red, to red, blue to blue, and green to nothing. Green is the whole building is toast wire.
So, don't touch green?
Don't think about green.
Ted rolled out from under the teleporter and looked at Booster.
You know, Booster, we haven't really said anything outside of hi to each other since the team formed.
I don't think I've talked to anyone since the team formed.
Ha! So, Booster, how did you get into the whole cape business?
Well, I was really big in sports for a while.
Oh, really? I didn't recognize you with the mask. What player are you?
Well, I was really big in sports for a while in the 31st century.
What?
Hush, let me finish the story. So anyway, I was really big in sports, but I blew out my knee. Hard. And the surgeries and crap blew through a ton of money. Well, the surgeries and my teensy-weensy gambling problem.
So, mainly the gambling problem?
Yeah, mainly the gambling problem. So anyway, I ended up working in the Superman Museum, and I saw how many toys and comics these guys get, and that looks like it's worth a lot of money. So why couldn't I do that? Why couldn't there be toys of me? So I stole a superhero costume, a museum robot, and a time machine, and I went back to become a superhero in the 21st century.
So you're only in it for the fame?
And money, but yeah, of course. What other reason is there to become a superhero?
Compassion, general kindness, and a love for humanity?
Oh, like you became a hero for noble reasons.
So I'm not the first Blue Beetle. My predecessor was. He was a guy named Dan Garrett, and he was an archaeologist who found an alien relic he thought was an ancient Egyptian magic called the Scarab. It gave him great superpowers, and so he became a hero. He eventually became a professor, and I was one of his students. Unknowing to me, my Uncle Jarvis Cord was an asshole who liked to mess with Dan, and one of their fights went too far and both of them died. Dan gave me the Scarab, and in his last breaths, told me I was the Blue Beetle. I used the Scarab to develop the tech I have today.
Sounds like a good comic.
I guess it does. It's funny, isn't it? How we're the most normal guys on this league.
How the hell can that be true?
Well, our team is Batman, a nonagenarian in a Hermes helmet, a lady who can channel animal spirits into her, a stretchy detective, Russian Iron Man, and the angriest redhead I have ever met. And then it's just you and me.
Wow. Normal dudes unite, I guess.
Cheers to that. Now, Booster, can you hand me that phase alignment regulator?
What's that?
Oh, you know, it's the silver donut thing with the 3 prongs and faint smell of burning ozone.
That thing? Oh, it fell.
From where?
My hand. Across the room. At high speeds. Into a houseplant.
Booster, did you see a disc-shaped object and assume it was a frisbee?
I would be lying if I said no.
Okay. I can make this work. I am a genius, after all. We'll just reroute the red into the blue. Or reroute the blue into the...
Please tell me you weren't gonna say green.
When Batman asked, "Who did this?" I blame you.
After a few moments, the emergency power kicked on, and everyone got back to business. It took around 6 hours to get everything fully moved in and all their rooms properly settled, but the job was done. And aside from Vixen and Rocket Red's loopholes, it was done without their powers.
How the hell did you guys get all this stuff down before we got here? Oh, cool, I can say Oh, god damn it.
Hey, do not think too hard about it, comrade guy. We did everything in accordance to grounding and camaraderie. We bring furniture in 1 American hour. Then me and Fox Lady play ping pong.
Ping pong. Ping pong? Pops and Stretcho made me haul in these boxes for 6 hours, and you were playing ping pong? The only way you two could get all that done so fast is by using your... Oh, you guys suck. I hate all of you.
Uh-oh. Are we the busted?
Yeah. But if we both used our powers, then we were our own relative normals to each other. Then we just kinda hung out. So while we may have skirted past Batman's rules, we upheld the spirit of Jay's request.
Works for me.
Oh, that's just not fair. I hate this team. I hate it.
Hey, was this hole in the wall always here?
At around noon, there was a brief alarm, and everyone shuffled into the meeting room, including the JLI's newest members, Fire and Ice.
Greetings, Justice League.
Ah! Bats! How long have you been standing there?
I just got in. Now I have some news. I am formally stepping down as leader.
What? How can you leave us? We need a leader.
During crisis, while most of Earth's heroes were away, the scum and villainy of Gotham City had grown and overtaking it. Robin and I need to handle it. And from everything I've seen, you are all competent people, and I do in fact trust you.
We do need a leader, though. And as much as I would like to volunteer myself, but that's a young man's game.
That's what I've been doing today, and I found no better option than...
I think it's best if I introduce myself. Bats.
From the other room stepped a black man with short hair, wearing a leather jacket with Fair Play painted on it, and a skin-tight mask covering his face in the shape of a T.
The name's Mr. Terrific, the third smartest man on Earth, and your new leader. I look forward to working with all of y'all. Treat me with respect, and I'll repay it in turn. That's what I call fair play. Now, we've got a lot to do today, and only half a day to do it. So who's ready to get to work?
A day later, after the embassy was fully settled, Tora sat on her bed watching a movie about tourist attractions in the Midwest on her phone until she heard a knock on the door. She walked over, opened the door, hoping to see her close friend Beatrice, and saw... Guy Gardner?
Oh, it's you.
Yeah, well, I get it. I'd have the same reaction if he acted the way I acted to you. I kind of came here to try to make amends. We're on a team after all. No matter how much I complain about it either.
Oh, so you're apologizing.
It ain't apologizing, I felt really, really bad about it, so I got you a coffee to apologize. Maybe we could start on a different foot. Unless I'm in a bad mood, so I gotta give you crap foot.
Thank you, Guy. And yes, I would love to be friends with you. Apology accepted.
Guy's eyes popped open and his entire face turned the same color as Dimitri's armor.
Wait, seriously? I didn't think you'd even... Oh, that went better than I... It wasn't an apology for us, just a team bonding exercise. You don't have to... I'm just gonna go now.
He's kind of sweet.
Written by John Keller. Directed by John Keller, Connor Dilworth, and Somewhat Good. Featuring the voice cast of Grayson Luther as Guy Gardner and the Elongated Man, Alex Derickson as Blue Beetle, Garen Seho as Booster Gold, Zoey Hebert as Fire, Lilly Pierce as Ice, Connor Dilworth as Rocket Red and Jack-O-Lantern, Katrina Clairvoyant as the Vixen, Dominic M.R. Trevino as Jay Garrick, Elle as Sue Dibney, with Friendly Medic VA as Mr. Terrific, A.A. Fox as Batman, and Brendan McGinley as the Phantom Stranger.